Transylvania, here we come. A bit of a comic relief provided by the agile fingers and agitated brain of Richard Benda and Henry Hamark. Bat screamed, and somewhere in the distance a hyena laughed. Perhaps at our gray flannel shrouds. What's that, you say? Aren't shrouds usually gray? Yes, but Dorian gray. The moon was up, and we rose from our coffins to begin our journey into the interior, determined to reach the lovely catacombs of Transylvania by dayfall. It was hi-ho, and away we go, as the lunar rays pierced the pervading mist of the crawling swamp. Our native barriers began their delightful chant repeating blood, 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 with rhythmic beauty as they paddled behind. We had been naughty the night before. The black waters of the lagoon were alive with lovely piranhas. It was the time of their feeding season, and they were singing blood, blood, blood. As we pushed onward, swamp moss and spiderwebs clouded our vision, and my companion Basil adjusted his monocle. It was all he required, really, for his single-centered eye. It was 10:30 then when we became aware of the ominous murmurs of our barriers. Their leader, a man so huge he resembled an elephant with elephantitis, rose and shouted, "Blood! Blood! Blood!" which meant of course that they refused to go any further. A moment later we knew why, as the monster of the lagoon rose from the depths depths. Water ran from its scales, and we didn't blame it, but the scales caused us to weigh our decision. Should we march forward or push back? An hour later, a crescent moon carved the night away. We caught the first glimpse of Journey's End. Rising above noxious mist, we saw the lovely rural graveyards of Transylvania. Beyond the leaning headstones, ancient Castle Dracula beckoned, and standing before the castle, our gracious host, the Count, called his greeting. Blood, blood, blood. The Count suggested a picnic in the cemetery, and it proved to be a humorous experience. The scent of fresh mold and old bodies was invigorating. We began our repast with a cocktail freshly cut from the cock. Then came the steak, very rare, and boiled eyes of potatoes served with toadstools and blood-red burgundy. We exchanged a few jokes like, "Who was that lady I saw you biting last night?" And the Count said he would dig up a girl for me, a lovely creature with beautiful long hair, from her elbows down. But at last, all too soon, it was time to start back to civilization and the latest horror movies. Basil wanted to hang around, but the rope broke. So as the Count kissed our necks goodbye, we shoved off. As the sun rose over the gravestones, we bade farewell to the lovely, enchanting, exotic, neurotic Transylvania, home of the bats and beasts, vampires and mice, and all things nice. We waved until the Count and the castles were swallowed by the mist, calling the ancient Transylvania farewell of "Good bat, good bat." Exciting as our adventure had been, it was good to think of heading back to civilization and the sophisticated comforts of a good bloodbath. The bloody end.